Can you really experience the best of Hanoi in just 2 days? Most travel guides will tell you it's impossible, but I'm about to prove them wrong with an itinerary that hits all the essential spots without exhausting you or your wallet. I challenge you to follow this exact route on your next trip and tell me if you found a more efficient way to experience Vietnam's capital. We'll cover everything from hidden coffee spots that sell that famous egg coffee for just over $1 to the exact time to visit major sites when crowds are at their minimum. Let's kick off your first morning in Hanoi with the ultimate breakfast spot that won't break the bank. Head over to Pho Thin Lo Duc, a local gem that opens at 6 a.m. sharp. This is where Hanoi locals start their day, and for good reason. When you walk in, you'll be hit with the amazing aroma of beef broth that's been simmering for hours with star anise and cinnamon. The menu is simple. Pick between rare or well-done beef, then watch as they assemble your bowl with fresh rice noodles and thinly sliced meat. Take a cue from the locals eating around you. They customize their pho by adding fresh herbs, squeezing lime, and dropping in chili to create their perfect bowl. What's amazing is this entire experience costs just 65,000 to 80,000 VND. That's less than $3 for a huge, satisfying bowl that'll fuel your morning adventures. With your stomach full and wallet barely touched, it's time to step into a living museum where every street tells a story. The Old Quarter isn't just Hanoi's oldest neighborhood. It's the 1,000-year-old district where 36 ancient streets still carry the names of goods once traded there. Walking down Hang Back, Silver Street, or Hang Gai, Silk Street, connects you directly to centuries of commerce and culture. Head out before 7 a.m. and you'll have these historic pathways mostly to yourself. Perfect for capturing photos of the vibrant shop fronts and colonial architecture without dodging crowds. The narrow alleyways reveal hidden temples, unexpected courtyards, and locals starting their day right on the sidewalks. Don't rush this experience. Give yourself at least 1 to 2 hours to wander, and definitely wear comfortable shoes. The uneven terrain will give your feet a serious workout while giving your budget a complete rest. Those narrow alleyways of the Old Quarter eventually lead to unexpected treasures. And none is more surprising than the curious creation born from Vietnam's 1940s milk shortage. How did a wartime scarcity transform into one of Southeast Asia's most Instagram-worthy drinks that costs less than your morning gas station coffee? After your morning exploration, head to Cafe Foco, a hidden gem tucked behind an unassuming silk shop. For just 50,000 VND, about $2, you'll experience the legendary egg coffee, a decadent treat that tastes remarkably like liquid tiramisu. Watch in fascination as baristas meticulously whisk egg yolks with sugar and coffee into a golden custard-like foam. The real magic happens when you climb to the rooftop terrace with panoramic views of Hoan Kiem Lake. Smart travelers order both the egg coffee and a traditional Vietnamese iced coffee, Cà phê Soi Da, to share, sampling 2 distinct flavors while keeping costs down. Just a short ride from your coffee stop is a massive marble structure where silence is mandatory and dress codes are strictly enforced. Yet it doesn't cost a single dong to enter. While most countries charge premium fees to see their national treasures, Vietnam offers free access to Uncle Ho's final resting place. Take a grab ride from the Old Quarter and make sure to arrive before 10:30 a.m. You'll beat both the scorching midday heat and the longest visitor lines. Inside, you'll find the preserved body of Vietnam's revolutionary leader displayed in a glass case. Remember, strict rules apply here. Keep moving in the continuous line. Dress respectfully with covered shoulders and knees, and absolutely no photography. If you're carrying a bag, prepare to pay 5,000 VND for storage. Practically nothing compared to major attractions elsewhere in the world. Plan for about 1 to 2 hours total, including the security line and viewing, making this an efficient and economical addition to your morning itinerary. From a national monument to a national dish, after your morning activities, your stomach will be ready for the lunch spot, where Obama and Anthony Bourdain clinked beer bottles over bowls of what might be the most famous $3 meal in television history. Bun Cha Huong Lien has become legendary since 2016 when President Obama visited with Bourdain for his CNN show. The restaurant now proudly offers the combo Obama for just 85,000 VND, featuring exactly what they ordered: a bowl of bun cha, a fried seafood roll, and a Hanoi beer. This humble spot serves Hanoi's signature dish, smoky grilled pork belly and meatballs swimming in a sweet savory fish sauce broth, accompanied by rice noodles and a mountain of fresh herbs. The flavors are incredible with that perfect balance of charred meat, tangy sauce, and aromatic herbs. With your belly full of authentic Vietnamese cuisine, it's time to discover where East meets West in spectacular fashion. Just minutes from the bustling lake area stands St. Joseph's Cathedral, a stunning Gothic masterpiece that would cost you an entrance fee in Europe, but here, completely free. This 130-year-old cathedral, with its imposing twin bell towers and beautiful stained glass windows, feels like it was plucked straight from Paris and dropped into Hanoi. Between scheduled masses, you're welcome to step inside and cool off while admiring the vaulted ceilings and religious artwork. The vibrant square outside is where the magic happens. Vendors sell green rice, a seasonal delicacy of flattened young rice with a distinct fragrance and slightly sweet taste. For just 10,000 VND, grab a small package wrapped in lotus leaves as you watch the fascinating blend of colonial architecture and everyday Vietnamese life unfold around you. After filling up on the delicious calm outside the cathedral, let's head to a place where everyday life in Hanoi takes on a thrilling edge. Hanoi Train Street is unlike anything you'll find in most cities. A functioning railway line squeezed between residential buildings so close that residents must retreat inside their homes when trains pass by. Although the government has recently tried restricting access, you can still visit this urban oddity by approaching from Tran Phu Street instead of the main entrance. The daily trains thunder through at around 3:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m., creating a heart-pounding spectacle as this massive steel machine passes just inches from people's doorsteps. For the best experience, arrive about 30 minutes before a scheduled train to secure a good viewing spot. While walking the tracks is completely free, consider grabbing a coffee from one of the trackside cafes for 30,000 VND to support the local families who've turned their unusual location into a modest livelihood. After the tight quarters of Train Street, let's head somewhere with a bit more elbow room. Hoan Kiem Lake sits like a calm oasis in downtown Hanoi, where locals come to escape the city's constant motion. This is the perfect late afternoon stop on our budget journey. Head here around 4 p.m. when the light turns magical. You'll see everyone from elderly men playing chess to young couples strolling hand in hand. The full loop around the lake takes just 30 minutes, but offers some of the best people watching in the city. Want to level up your experience? For just 30,000 VND, cross the bright red Huck Bridge to explore Ngoc Son Temple on its own tiny island. This 18th century temple honors military leader Tran Hung Dao and the turtle god Kim Kui. Grab a fresh coconut from a lakeside vendor for just 20,000 VND and find a bench to watch the sunset. You'll understand why this spot is the heart and soul of Hanoi. With the golden light of sunset still warming our faces, let's head to one of Hanoi's most overlooked treasures. As the sunset at Hoan Kiem Lake fades, we're heading to another visual treat that's completely free. Bung Hung Street hides an 800-foot open-air art gallery under an ordinary underpass that most tourists walk right past. This incredible public art project was created in 2018 through a collaboration between Vietnamese and Korean artists who transformed a plain concrete tunnel into something magical. The 17 massive murals use special 3D techniques that make the artwork literally pop off the walls. Perfect for those interactive photos that make your Instagram followers do a double take. What I love about this spot is the complete absence of pushy vendors. You can spend 30-45 minutes wandering the entire length, taking your time with each piece that shows scenes from traditional water puppetry to daily life in the Old Quarter. Those mural scenes might have sparked your appetite for authentic Vietnamese cuisine. So what's next on our journey? Let's head to Met Vietnamese Restaurant, a local favorite tucked away from the tourist hotspots where you can experience a true countryside feast. At Met, you don't just order one dish, you get to try 5 to 6 different authentic specialties in a single sitting. This is how Vietnamese families have enjoyed meals for generations. The restaurant serves traditional countryside cuisine, including nem chua, fermented pork, various grilled meats, and fresh herbs that you wrap in rice paper yourself. What makes this place special is its authentic atmosphere. Simple wooden tables, traditional cooking implements displayed on the walls, and a dining experience that feels like visiting someone's home rather than a restaurant. Unlike the fancy fusion places in the tourist areas, MET keeps it real with genuine flavors and presentation. With your belly full of countryside cuisine, let's head to what locals call Beer Street, where your night out might cost less than your morning coffee back home. At just 20-40 cents per glass of fresh Bia Hoi, Ta Hien Street isn't just a drinking spot. It's a cultural phenomenon where tourists and locals share tiny plastic stools and big conversations under the Hanoi night sky. As the perfect finale to our first day, this lively street transforms after 8 p.m. into an open-air party that requires no entry fee. Just pull up a plastic stool, order a round, and you're instantly part of the action. Food vendors weave through the crowd selling delicious skewers and snacks for just $1 to $2. Pro tip: always confirm prices when you order and keep track of your tab, especially after a few rounds. Some vendors might add a subtle tourist tax if you're not paying attention. Plan to spend about 2 hours here to cap off your first day with a total budget of around 100,000 VND, $4, for several beers and snacks, a fraction of what a night out would cost in most countries. Enjoying this 2-day Hanoi itinerary? Hit subscribe now before we move on to day 2 so you never miss our simple, no-fluff travel guides. When the sun rises on your second day in Hanoi, the real budget travel hack isn't skipping breakfast. It's knowing where the locals get their morning fuel. Let me show you how to start your day for less than $1 with 2 authentic options that tourists rarely discover. First up, look for the banh mi carts with lines of locals forming around 7 a.m. For just 15,000, 25,000 VND, you'll get a crusty baguette stuffed with savory pate, sliced meats, crisp veggies, and that essential hit of cilantro and chili. One bite explains why Anthony Bourdain called this the world's best sandwich. If you're more in the mood for something warm and comforting, find a sidewalk chow vendor. These rice congee masters serve steaming bowls topped with chicken, century egg, or pork for just 20,000 VND. The locals aren't exaggerating when they say this porridge keeps you going until afternoon. With breakfast sorted, let's head to a place where Vietnam's complex history comes alive for less than the cost of that banh mi you just enjoyed. Hoa Lo Prison, ironically nicknamed the Hanoi Hilton, offers one of the city's most powerful historical experiences for just 30,000 VND. Walking through the French-built facility, you'll see the actual guillotine used for executions, cramped communal cells where Vietnamese revolutionaries were chained to concrete beds, and the section later used to house American pilots during the Vietnam War. Senator John McCain's flight suit and parachute are displayed alongside propaganda photos showing POWs playing volleyball and celebrating Christmas. The museum expertly balances multiple perspectives, From French colonial power to Vietnamese resistance to the American War experience, all through original artifacts and detailed exhibits in English. Take your time exploring at your own pace without the pressure of tour guides rushing you along. After processing the emotional weight of Hoa Lo Prison, your mind and body will be ready for a much-needed respite. Just a 15-minute ride away sits Serang Cafe and Lounge, where you can recharge with million-dollar views for pocket change. This hidden gem near Westlake features massive floor-to-ceiling windows that frame stunning water views, plus a trendy interior spread across multiple levels. The best part? A Vietnamese coffee or tea here costs just 40,000, 50,000 VND, while similar Instagram-worthy cafes in Bali or Bangkok charge at least double. Grab a window seat and soak in the peaceful atmosphere without any pressure to keep ordering like at tourist trap cafes. The reliable Wi-Fi lets you plan your next moves while resting your feet. Pro tip: stick with the Vietnamese coffee options instead of Western drinks. You'll save around 20,000 VND and get more authentic flavors. While that coffee fueled your morning energy, it's time to fuel your cultural knowledge at the Vietnam National Fine Arts Museum. This colonial-era gem houses an incredible collection spanning over 2 millennia of Vietnamese artistic expression across multiple interconnected buildings. The museum's logical organization takes you on a chronological journey from ancient ceramics to modern installations. Start on the first floor with prehistoric artifacts before working your way through folk art, then head upstairs for revolutionary propaganda pieces and contemporary works that reflect Vietnam's rapid modernization. Don't miss the lacquerware gallery. This uniquely Vietnamese art form uses tree sap inlaid with eggshell, mother of pearl, and gold leaf to create stunning visual depth. The sculpture garden between buildings provides a peaceful spot to reflect on what you've seen. Visit on weekday mornings to avoid school groups and bring your camera. Photography is freely permitted throughout the exhibits. Just a short trip from the Fine Arts Museum stands another Hanoi bargain that's even older and more influential. The Temple of Literature isn't just another pretty historical site, it's Vietnam's first national university, built when Europe was still in the Dark Ages, and it reveals why education has remained sacred here for centuries. Step through the Great Portico Gate and you'll find yourself wandering through 5 connected courtyards, each representing different stages of the scholarly journey. The third courtyard contains 82 stone steles perched on giant stone turtles, recording the names and achievements of doctoral graduates dating back to 1442. When you visit, head straight to the fourth courtyard housing the main pavilion where kings once conducted ceremonies honoring Confucius. The well of heavenly clarity in the center symbolizes the pure knowledge scholars sought. From one historic treasure to another, let's head to a place where layers of Vietnamese history stack upon each other like chapters in a book. The Imperial Citadel of Thang Long tells not just one story, but many, from 11th century royal pathways to Vietnam War bunkers, all preserved within the same ancient walls. This UNESCO site was Vietnam's political heart for over 700 years. The sprawling complex features ancient stone dragon carvings, excavated palace foundations, and ceremonial walkways where emperors once strolled. Don't miss the archaeological zone where you can see the layers of civilizations built one atop another. Make sure to check out the D-67 tunnel and house where military operations were conducted during the American War. The air conditioning in the museum building provides a welcome escape from Hanoi's heat, and there are several shaded areas perfect for taking a breather between explorations. After all that historical exploration, you're probably working up an appetite. But would you believe one of Hanoi's most prestigious culinary experiences costs less than your morning coffee back home? Tucked away from the tourist crowd sits Pho Gan Nguyen, a Michelin Bib Gourmand restaurant where locals have been lining up for generations. What makes this place special is their laser focus on one thing only: chicken pho. They offer just 2 varieties, regular or mixed parts. This specialization is the secret to their incredibly flavorful broth that's crystal clear yet packed with depth. Pro tip: Visit around 1:30 p.m. when the lunch rush slows down. Don't forget to order a side of key, those golden fried dough sticks that locals dip in their soup. They're the perfect crunchy complement to the silky noodles and tender chicken. With your belly full of that amazing chicken pho, let's head to a part of Hanoi that feels like you've stepped into another continent entirely. The French Quarter is where colonial history remains frozen in time, with elegant mansions and wide tree-lined boulevards that couldn't be more different from the maze-like Old Quarter. This neighborhood is best explored between 2 and 4 p.m. when the afternoon light beautifully highlights the yellow facades. Look for architectural details other tourists miss: intricate iron balconies, Art Deco window frames, and hidden courtyards visible through open gates. The best self-guided route starts at the Vietnam Military History Museum and loops around toward the iconic Bourdain Square. Locals recommend bringing a refillable water bottle and finding shady spots under the massive tamarind trees when you need a break. Morning tours hit these streets in noisy packs, so this afternoon timing means you'll practically have entire blocks to yourself for perfect photos. Just a short walk from those peaceful tree-lined streets is a building most travel guides only recommend if you're willing to splurge on performance tickets. The Hanoi Opera House stands as a magnificent testament to French influence in Vietnam, completed in 1911 as a mini version of Paris's Palais Garnier. Here's the insider tip most tourists miss. The most spectacular views of this yellow neoclassical masterpiece are completely free. The exterior is actually more photogenic than the interior, especially if you visit between 4 to 5 p.m. when the afternoon sun creates dramatic shadows across its ornate columns and detailed stonework. Want to peek inside without paying for a show? Try this local hack. On weekday mornings, politely ask the security guards if the lobby is open for viewing. When no rehearsals are happening, they sometimes allow visitors a quick look at the grand staircase and chandelier. After admiring the Opera House, you might be feeling a bit warm from all that walking. Good news, the most legendary dessert in Hanoi is just steps away. Kem Trang Tien has been a local institution since 1958, and somehow maintains its Soviet-era charm and pricing despite its fame. Look for the simple storefront with locals queuing outside. While tourists flock to fancy dessert shops downtown, this state-owned ice cream factory keeps things deliciously basic, with unique flavors you won't find elsewhere. Green bean, taro, and coconut are the classics that keep generations of Hanoians coming back. The simplicity is part of the charm. No fancy toppings or Instagram-worthy presentations here, just pure, creamy goodness on a stick. Even in winter months, you'll spot locals enjoying these frozen treats. For the fullest experience, join the afternoon crowd around 4:30 p.m. The line moves quickly, and you'll be walking away with your ice cream in minutes. Once you've satisfied your sweet tooth, it's time to feed your soul at Trang Quoc Pagoda, a 6th century temple that somehow maintains complete free access despite being one of Hanoi's most significant cultural treasures. Located on a small island in Westlake, this Buddhist sanctuary is easy to reach, but feels worlds away from the city's hustle. The iconic red pagoda with its 11-story tower becomes absolutely magical during sunset when golden light bathes the entire structure. To make the most of your visit, aim to arrive around 5:30 p.m. when the light is perfect for photography. Remember to dress modestly with shoulders and knees covered out of respect. While exploring, don't miss the Bodhi tree gifted from India, said to be descended from the original tree under which Buddha achieved enlightenment. After feeding your soul at the pagoda, how about treating your taste buds to a Michelin-recognized meal that costs less than your morning coffee back home? In the narrow streets of Hanoi's Old Quarter, a humble family-run eatery serves up crispy fried eel over glass noodles that's earned international culinary recognition while remaining authentically local. Mien Lun Dong Tin offers this specialty in 2 ways, either with a rich broth or dry style. definitely go for the dry version, Mien Lun Co, which actually comes with a small side soup, giving you two different experiences in one order. The contrast between the perfectly crispy eel and the chewy glass noodles creates an incredible texture that pairs beautifully with the fragrant herbs served alongside. Head over around 6:30 p.m. when the evening crowd starts gathering, but before the place gets packed. The restaurant focuses on doing just one thing exceptionally well, a recipe for both culinary excellence and remarkable value, entirely different, being in exactly the right place at exactly the wrong time. What happens when you put a 6-story commercial building between two of Hanoi's most iconic areas? You get the ultimate love it or hate it landmark that locals call the Shark Jaw Building. For over 30 years, this controversial structure has been taking a big bite out of Hanoi's public space, creating a concrete wall between the Old Quarter and Hoan Kiem Lake. The nickname comes from its uncanny resemblance to a shark's open mouth. But locals joke it doesn't just look like a predator, it acts like one too, swallowing valuable downtown real estate. Here's the twist though, this infamous landmark is scheduled for demolition. After decades of debate, the city plans to remove it to create a more open green lakeside area. Leaving behind architectural controversy, let's dive into pure Vietnamese energy you can only experience 3 nights a week. Hanoi's weekend night market transforms ordinary streets into an electrifying open-air bazaar stretching through the Old Quarter. The market officially opens at 6 p.m., but savvy shoppers arrive around 7:30 p.m. when all vendors are fully set up, but before the peak crowds at 9 p.m. Navigation tip: start at Hang Dao Street and work your way north. The first section offers higher quality souvenirs, while the northern end specializes in clothing and accessories. Bargaining is expected. Offer 40% of the initial price and settle around 60 to 70%. Look for the side alleys branching off the main route where you'll find unique handcrafted items from mountain villages that most tourists miss. Bring small bills to make transactions easier and carry a reusable shopping bag that folds into your pocket. And there you have it. We've just wrapped up a complete 2-day Hanoi adventure that proves this incredible city delivers authentic experiences without emptying your wallet. By following this itinerary, you'll spend under $50 total while experiencing everything from UNESCO heritage sites to hidden family-run eateries where locals have eaten for generations. The real magic of Hanoi isn't just affordability. It's that many of its absolute best experiences cost next to nothing or are completely free, making it Southeast Asia's best value capital city. If you enjoyed this budget-friendly guide, hit that like button, subscribe for more travel tips, and drop a comment telling me where you want to see next.